speaking of Squared Circle, one EC3 did an AMA. It was actually the day of this recording, and it actually finished a few hours before we started, about his new Control Your Narrative promotion. Now, we've talked a bit about this on the pod the last couple of weeks because it's new and it's making a lot of headlines, both good and bad. So EC3 wanted to go on to Squared Circle, partially because he wanted to set the record straight, and partially because it was Squared Circle where that unverified post came about, alleging a bunch of details that he vehemently disputes. It was a bit of a shit show. Some of it was very good. Some of it was like, dude, what are you doing? Some of the good things, he was very quick, to denounce, any sort of Nazism or homophobia or bigotry. He also randomly denounced communism, which was kind of funny. Transphobia. Somebody straight up asked him, like, do you believe in trans rights? And he was like, yes, absolutely. Easy answer. And then there was some bad stuff. He seriously had a hard time answering any questions about the joke he made in an interview, for those of you who didn't see it. And this is partially where some of the Nazism comments came about. It was after the post on Squared Circle, and that post alleged that Mike Liddell, who's the My Pillow guy, was one of the financial backers of the promotion. EC3 in that interview shot that down, and then also made a joke saying, oh, I heard if you put in CYN as a promotional code on mypillow.com, you get 88% off. For those of you who don't know, that 88 is a reference that neo-Nazis used for Hitler. Now, he was trying to say that he never intentionally made such a joke, and he never would, but he didn't really directly answer the question. Like, no, he said he didn't know, but like he was dancing around it a lot. I highly recommend you read this to get the full experience. It was, like I said, it was a shit show and it was quite entertaining. But I think, at least for me, the biggest thing that came out of this was his refusal to more or less acknowledge Austin Aries' sexual assault allegations, and not even allegations. Aries has admitted to this both in interviews and on his Twitter, to which EC3 either didn't know about or played dumb to, but when provided with multiple sources, including the two I just mentioned, he would not comment more on the situation. So there's a lot to unpack there, James. So I'll let you have at it. You can start wherever you wish and go from there.
I have been very critical of CYN and how this has all come about. I said it's so weird to not be excited about the formation of a new company. We should, like, by definition, we should be excited about this because it's something new, it's something different, and it should be, in theory, somewhat of a game changer, no matter how small. But it's always been, and we just love this word, icky. It's always felt icky. And whether it would be because of jokes made or whether it be because of rumors, and rumors, we don't know, rumors, but it's had this dark cloud attached to it since its formation, since its announcement. And maybe some of that's unfair. Maybe a lot of it is just conjecture, and it's tainting the name of what this company could be or what they want this company to be. But then when you, like Nick, you brought up, Austin Aries is a member of this roster. And this is a guy who I used to be a big fan of. But time and again, this guy proved that he is terrible. He's just not a good person. He's not a good human being. He's done terrible things. And whether you want to say it's in character or whether you want to say it's an overreaction from the people responding to it, it doesn't matter. The guy's done bad things. He hasn't answered for them. He's doubled down on defending his behavior, and now he's getting employed by a company that's going to give him a platform, because that's their whole thing. They want to give people a platform. So I don't know. I don't want to say my stance is softening on them, because it's not. I'm still not thrilled with them. I'm going to say I'm going to be more open to hearing things about them, because if you're EC3 and you're trying to appeal to a certain demographic, and then you say a lot of the things that he said in this AMA, you're going to turn off a lot of that demographic. So maybe it's not true, or maybe some of it's not true, but it's too soon to tell. I can't say I'm any more excited for them. I can't say that I'm rooting for them at all, because I'm not. But I am more open to seeing what's next, and more open to giving them at least a secondary glance than I was a week ago. But Aries is still very much a question mark that needs to be addressed. And that's something EC3 very much didn't want to address. And until it is addressed, it's asking a lot to support them.
Yeah, like you said, I think EC3 definitely opened the door a bit to people giving this more of a chance, because going into this, his biggest thing, at least for him personally, I think, was, the allegations of Nazism and stuff like that. And I think he, at least on paper, it was online, but on paper, he has denounced these things strongly and firmly, and that's good. I think that does a lot for his character and the way people are going to be viewing him as someone who is running this company, so, or at least heading up this company. They all run it together, whatever their narrative is. But yeah, the Aries stuff is a problem. It's a major problem. Hopefully he sees what all of those Redditors posted to his comments about that, and he does his, literally the bare minimum of research and click one of the links, and he has second thoughts about Aries. I think the other thing too, Chad, that he definitely avoided, he would not talk about any of the the vaccination stuff. I think he kind of danced around it by like bringing up Flip and saying, oh, like Flip's a flat earther, like I wouldn't book somebody because he's a flat earther. But there's that whole anti-vax thing too now, where that's another question that is left unanswered with this company.
Right. Everybody in the PR circles, they know how to go about this. You answer the things that you can deny vehemently, and the things that you're unsure of, or that you don't have an answer to, you don't answer. Meaning, he totally don't say anything about Austin Aries. That's what he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to say a thing about that, but he's supposed to denounce all the things that he's not, to make himself look a little bit better, because the optics are crazy on this company. I'm with James. I wanted to be excited. I used to like EC3 in NXT. So, you hear it's a new wrestling promotion, you're a wrestling mark, you get excited, and then they attach a cannon like Austin Aries over there, and everything goes to shit. I'm in the fortunate class where I never liked Austin Aries, so I don't have anything to regret. Sorry, James, but sorry, buddy. I've never really liked him, so it's almost easier for me to hate him and dislike him now. I'm with James. I don't care about this promotion. Like, they'll make the waves that they make, and we'll hear it, and we'll bring it to you guys for the news. But other than that, man, deaf ear.
Yeah. I will say this as a final point on everything. For the Control Your Narrative promotion itself, EC3 actually did talk quite a bit about what they were planning to do there. So it's like it did build a little more intrigue for me. Like, obviously the highlights are going to be, his opinions on all of this controversial stuff that has come out. But there were some bits of intrigue where he was like, we're going to tell certain stories and stuff, where I was like, if these weren't such at best weird people and at worst pieces of shit, I'd be a lot more intrigued after reading this. But if you can't like see 30 links of people showing you proof that Austin Aries had a woman force a woman to kiss his balls as punishment, and not be like, I didn't know that, I'll look into it, then I'm going to have a hard time supporting you no matter what you said.
Right.
So, and actually, one more last point. There was something I did find kind of funny where somebody did ask him what a women's division would look like. And he mentioned a wrestler. James, do you remember who he said that wrestler was going to be?
Marina Shafir.
Thank you. He mentioned her and that they were going to build around her and her story and everything. And he said how they're going to do it. And then he mentioned that she couldn't make their upcoming Dallas booking. And someone went, yeah, dumbass, because she's Jewish and you made a bunch of Nazi jokes. So that's how that AMA went.